you really do get the truth. You somehow manage to take these superstars, peel away the layers, and find out what they're all about, who they are. How do you do that?
Well, I don't know if I do it always, but that's certainly the goal. And I think the way you do it is, and I could cut my tongue out. I said I hate interviewers that go on and talk about how they interview, but the one thing that I do try to do is pose questions that flow out of what they have just said. Like if the two of us were talking in a bar, right? I don't go to you and have a listen. You know, you say something and that sparks my interest, and then to pose a question that becomes so interesting to them that you get inside their. We all have defenses. Anybody who sits in front of a camera and babbles without thinking about what they're, you know, is an idiot.
Sure.
Right? But you want to get inside so they're dealing with a question that's so unique or interesting that they start dealing with a question and forget about.
I guess I'm surprised that somebody with your talent still down there scratching amongst, as you say, the junk.
Sure. But you see...
Can't you figure out a way to beat the system, to get better stuff, to surmount the odds?
God, you're going to elicit from me perhaps the deepest confession that I've ever made, which is that the only thing that I have ever been obsessed with from the moment I fought my way out of the womb into a pink follow spot was to beat the system. I don't care what it is, man. I don't care if it's sailing in the weather. I don't care if it's Formula One cars in the curb. Beat the system. To me, the system is there to be beaten, right? Otherwise, it is infallible, and nothing is infallible, right? And I have beaten every system in the world except the racket that I'm in. And I think that's because I can't play ball. I mean, I have taken the veil and the vow so many times, right? And said, I'm just going to go in, I'm going to say my lines, I'm going to hit my marks, I'm just going to do exactly what they want me to do, you know, and I'll go to the parties, and I will, you know, as they say, take meeting, talk deal, give phone, do lunch, right? I am a disaster. Then also, you see, I'm never around. When I'm not working, I split. I'm gone, in the words of the immortal Chuck Berry, like a cool breeze.
People say, oh, it's a cross to bear, this big sex symbol. No! It's not.
Do you think they want you to be repentant?
I do. I think we're basically very Puritan here. And I don't feel a bit repentant. I only wish I had done something a lot more hot. Really, truly. But for that, I would have had to have people who weren't afraid of women. And that's what's happening in this country. We've gotten everybody so scared.
Could have you made a really hot movie in Europe?
Yeah, I
Well, why
probably
didn't
could.
you?
Well, because I'm American. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, because I'm American. I mean, I've made films in Europe, but I always just, you know, it's your own backyard. You want to do your thing in your own backyard.
Well, you have me convinced now about why don't you make a truly sensual film? I'm not talking about a pornographic film, a sensual...
Oh, let's not have any porno, Rocky. What do you do when you're interviewing someone and you're never getting through that? The wall is there and you just can't seem to hit the button. Has that happened to you? Have you ever had an interview where you felt it was just not getting where you wanted to go?
I have a feeling I was holding you down, that there's something that didn't really cover, or all the questions are kind of dumb. What do you want to tell America, or the woman out buying?
The thing that I'm finding right now so much is that the rapport between me and the consumers, the people that buy the things, is great. I walk in the street, I have the best rapport with people. It's complete acknowledgement, you know, I mean, it's like they know me, they like me. Somehow I represent a part of them or their daughter or their sister or whatever, and it's like there's a nice warm feeling. And lately, with the people in the middle, the press and the media and stores, I mean, the middleman, I mean, it's very strange. It's like, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? seems like they don't trust what I'm doing.
Well, in effect, you created the image about yourself. The crazy Diane von Furstenberg, the princess and the wild liver.
So how do you didn't know me, right? You didn't know me. So what did you expect to be sitting here with?
A very shrewd businesswoman who has very carefully manufactured her image. And now I have the feeling you don't like that image you've created.
Well, I don't know. It's not a question that I don't like the image. I mean, it's all me. Every one of the images was me. I guess it's a matter of interpretation. I don't know.
No, you were saying something, though. I mean, stay with this now. You like how the consumer's reacting to you.
Yes.
But the media has now kind of turned into your monster and getting in the way.
I don't know. It's just they ask those questions. I don't know.
Didn't you use the media originally to create the image to...
Oh yes, but I still do. I mean, I'm sitting here, you know. I mean, it's a way for me to speak out.
What have we stirred up?
Oh, so many. There's a poem. There's a poem which is a good woman feeling bad, because you almost made me weep on this thing 2 or 3 times. I guess I did weep.
How does that poem go?
Good woman feeling bad. The blues may be the life you've led, or midnight hours in an empty bed, but persecuting blues I've known could stalk like tigers and break like bone, pinned like rope in a gallows tree, make me curse my pedigree, bitterness thick on a rankling tongue, psalms to love left unsung, rivers heading north but ending south, funeral music and a going home mouth, all riddles are blues and all blues are sad, and I'm just talking about some blues I've had.
How much of yourself do you put into those interviews?
I don't have any idea. I absolutely don't. I just go in there and make it up and let it happen. I don't think about any of that. If I start analyzing it, you know, it's like thinking about how do you ride a bicycle.
It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's never a morning on my way to the studio where I don't have that thing in the pit of my stomach saying, you know, Jesus, what if I've lost it? You know, what if I, you just said, what if I can't make that connection, right? And it just dies, and we hate each other, right? And I guess that's what gets my heart beating when I get in there. Recently I did Richard Pryor, for example, who is a fascinating, troubled man, and going into it I had been told that he really is a monster if he doesn't like you.
You know, and you get on that treadmill of, oh, you're Richard Pryor, you're this, you can do this, there's nothing you can't do, you're this, you're great. And you go, I gotta keep great, I gotta look great, take a pill, you know, and I'll go out and look great for him and do great, and then pretty soon, you know, you're just gone. And then you turn around one day, everything that you avoided in your life comes in the room to talk to you. Excuse me, could I get 5 minutes, please? You know, but I remember you from when I was 3. Yes, but I wanted to talk to you then. You didn't deal with me. You know, and all of it, boom, for me, I was lucky. I'm glad it happened.
Where did this talk happen? In the hospital room?
No, in my room before I went to the hospital. I mean, all the demons showed up. You know, said, we got to talk to you, pal.
While you're laying there burned, too.
Yeah, we want to talk to you. I want you to get this. You got it? You understand?
There are certain people who open up so much. You know, the reason I never wanted to be an actor, for example, is I always think that they're born with something missing. And we all think of actors as having, but they have the great ones, you know, the don't have that defensive shield we spent so long building. I mean, they can just open it up, say, here I am. Look in the light.
To an outsider, one who will never be an actor, seems like a terrible price.
I don't quite understand why you would say that.
You said wearing your private emotions publicly. Why do I want my private emotions public? I hide them there. That's where I want them.
Well, let me try to explain a little bit of that.
Okay, I'll tell you what the deal is. I'll answer anything you ask me, but you have to think up the questions.
You know, you have shifted careers, not careers, but focuses in your career. You come up with new ideas. A project ends, and there's no project over here. You've got to create that project.
Yeah.
What's that feel like?
I like to get up every day and kind of make up my life, and that is exactly what I do. As a project ends or a show ends or something, I like the sense of having to say, all right, Jackson, you know, the next thing you do, either somebody's going to hire you and tell you what to do, or you think it up and bring it to them.
From ABC News, The Last Word, late night television with Bill Donahue in Chicago and Greg Jackson in New York.
Tonight, in the heart of the matter, battered wives, women who are beaten up for years and then something snaps, they fight back, even kill their husbands. Is that justified? Tonight, we'll talk to Madeline Diaz, who killed her husband, a police officer, after he abused her for years. We'll also speak to her lawyer and to an expert on what's known as battered wife syndrome. First, some facts and perspective. The woman you're about to meet was standing in a California unemployment line in 1976. So, join us for MD Report.
This is Getting Even.
I'm Cynthia Allison.
I'm Greg Jackson, and this is Getting Even, the show that helps you fight for what's right.